Okay, so for movement here, you wanna, when you've got blue behind you, you wanna, after you fired orange or the other color, you wanna gradually pan to the left towards the shot while holding the left, like that. So it's just a gradual pan. And then if you want, you can stop your movement with the right key as well, like that. And then you want to fire about there. And then when you get to this point, you want to look more this way and then hold back and right. And that should line you up with the shot pretty well. And then you fire the opposite color again, and then you're at cowboy skip. So when you do it at full speed, it should look something like this. Okay, so when you get to here, there's a couple of new things you can do. So the first one is before you open the door, or while the door's opening, you fire on this wall. Then you line up to this bit, and then fire at this. And then you go through this portal, and then fire at that. And then you can open this door, fire there, and then this portal's already here, so you can just walk through it. And then the second method, which is what I do, is when you open it, when the door's opening, you walk through it like this. You fire a portal here immediately, and then you get a wider angle to hit this shot with. And then when you walk through, you don't have to turn as much as well. You don't have to do a full 180, you just turn like that. And then you just fire in the same spot, and the rest is the same as the other one. Both of these save a shot over the old method. You do also want to make sure that when you get to here, that you go far enough, because there is an invisible wall here for a glitch into this. You want to make sure you go out far enough to get a fire past, otherwise the shot will fizzle on this. So this is the purple core optimization, and it's fairly easy as long as you are confident with how you aim it. So the first thing you want to do when you get in the Glitchless room is fire there, then QC on the floor to get to the other side, then fire about here, run tip on that bar, then get up to there, and jump over to here outside of the button. That's the first part, so at full speed it should look something like this. So the way you time jumping down with the dialogue cue is Gladys says surprise at one point, so you want to jump down and QC on the floor when Gladys is done saying surprise.
You chose this path. Now I have a surprise for you.
So you jump down, fire roughly there on top of the black tile, and grab the purple core and then chuck it down like that, all in one motion for the purple core.
You chose this path. Now I have a surprise for you. Deploying surprise in 5, 4. Time out for where are you taking?
So this is the first yellow core optimization. It's a little bit less movement based, but you fire more portals, which can be helpful if you're comfortable with firing more portals but don't like backing up into portals, like when you don't know where it is exactly. So at full speed it looks like this, and then I'll break it down in slow motion afterwards.
I can't shut off the turret defenses.
Do you smell something burning?
So first two shots are about the same as normal compared to the other yellow core strats before this. Then you jump over here, you push the button instantly, walk off, keep going until you can see the shot, wait until the turret's rocket's gone past you, fire blue, QCE on the floor, then fire orange again there, and then peek blue onto the wall there. And then you can grab the yellow core like that and then chuck it in. Primary reason this strat is good is because when you QCE, you always end up in the same position behind the portal. And the result of doing the QCE is that this peak becomes virtually 100% consistent, because you can't miss it by being misaligned or anything. You can always back up. Okay, so this is the second way of doing yellow core, which is the more movement one, but it's not too hard either. These are both pretty easy once you just get used to them. This one looks like a full speed, and then I'll break it down in slow motion afterwards.
I can't shut off the turret defenses.
Do you smell something burning?
So first shot is the same, but then after the first shot, instead of jumping up, you just fire blue immediately, and then go inside the button room, like this. And then right before the rocket hits Gladys, you can hear it. You press the button and fire blue at the same time above the incinerator, then fire orange roughly there, and then you peek orange to there. And then you can chuck the yellow core in. So the biggest difference between this and the other one is that you are just walking about in this one. It's a little bit slower, but it's much more relaxed than the other one. And then also this shot here, with the orange, if you don't line up with it correctly, you might miss the peak, which can slow you down a lot if you're not careful. Alright, so this is the tutorial for blue core optimization. It's probably the hardest thing to do in EO2 out of everything, other than just doing the start on full speed. So I wouldn't recommend doing this until you've done basically every other time save you can in EO2, because it's pretty hard. So once again, I'm going to do it at full speed, and I'll break it down in slow motion afterwards.
2 plus 2 is...
I let you survive this long because I was curious about your behavior. Well...
So in the start, the first couple of shots are again just the same. Jump up in the same place, just like normal blue core. But then when you get to here, you fire this shot as early as you can without stopping the rocket. You line up a orange on the floor around there. You press the button as soon as you can, then walk off, and then peek the orange. And then replace blue lower. Then you grab the blue core, and then jump right on the edge, and then you throw it in, and it will fall into the incinerator. The main thing that makes this more difficult than the other ones is that you have to do a blind peek into a floor portal, as well as doing everything at pretty high speed. Like this peek can be quite difficult, unless you put in enough practice. And on top of that, that peak also needs to be in a specific location, otherwise the blue core will not go into the incinerator, it will just roll out to the side. Okay, I also wanted to show regular blue core, but just with the missed optimal strats, because the other one is pretty difficult. Most people are going to do this one anyway. So again, I'm going to do it at full speed and then break it down in slow motion afterwards.
You're doing some damage.
2 plus 2 is...
I let you survive this long because I was curious about your behavior. Well...
Yeah, first shots are just normal. Just like the normal strat without the optimization. First start is exactly the same. And you fire this after the rocket has gone through. And then you do a dialogue cue to fall off when Gladys has completely finished saying the word fine. Not during, like straight after. You go off and go through the orange portal, and then the core will appear at just the right time for you to crouch jump off the edge so you don't hit the railing, and then you can jump and chuck it into the incinerator. Alright, so this is the red core optimization, which is about a middle ground in difficulty. So again, I'm just going to do it in full speed and then I'll break it down in slow motion afterwards. So you do the first shots like you normally would in other strats. Just like that, and then when you get to here, you would look around the lights there. Then fire after the rocket's going through, walk off, press the button, and you jump, then fire orange, and then you look to the incinerator, fire while you're in the air, grab the core, and then fire beneath the core. And then that saves doing one portal shot. Now the reason that I walk off at the specific time I do here is because the rocket hits GLaDOS while I'm in the air. And the reason that's helpful is because it prevents the camera shake. That happens when, well, that's normally supposed to happen when GLaDOS gets hit by a rocket, but it doesn't happen because you're in the air, so you're able to aim more easily.